World's Strongest Man have just announced a massive change to the format of World's Strongest Man. It's now going to be a 10 event final. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is such a beautiful day here in Ireland. We call beautiful days in Ireland days that don't have rain, because we've so many rainy days in Ireland. It would make you jump up and bite your own father. Jesus, if I see another drop of rain this summer. As you can see here, the last day, lads, I had a couple of drips in my caravan. There's water coming through the caravan here, as you all know. I'm just a poor little gypsy traveller in my caravan, reporting to you with all the top news of World's Strongest Man. But Pa, how'd you get all this news? Because I fucking know everything, lads. I know everything. It's all up in here. I've all the connections. Everything I say is the truth. And if you say anything different, it's a ball of a lie. So someone wrote into me, Michael Kirkland 6573, which is why the reason I'm reading this out is because this is the change that's happening to World's Strongest Man this year. So he says, I would really like for World's Strongest Man to use something like the OSG format. That way, all of the events are counted towards who will win the overall, and the competition doesn't have to be just increase the number of events. And that, folks, is exactly what's happening this year. So what's going to happen is, for those that don't know what happens with the OSG point system, so the other change, obviously, as well, is everyone has to do the fifth event. Before, it used to be like a challenge between second and third place to fight for the last spot of your group going into the final. So now everyone has to do 5 events, and everyone is going to have to try. Even the likes of Tom Stoaltman and Mitchell Hooper, who would probably ease off towards the end of a group, the heat stage, they mightn't work as hard on the 4th event, they mightn't work as hard on the 5th event. Some, like Hooper, probably wouldn't even have to do the last event. Well, now they have to do it because all points are accumulated. So what happens is, for argument's sake, for those that don't know what happens at OSG, is, for our argument's sake, let's say the deadlift. 25 men have to do the deadlift, right? So that guy in first place, obviously the same rule applies. The number 1 and 2 from each group go through to the final regardless of point system. But, so we have a deadlift in the heat, right? So we have a deadlift for reps. So for argument's sake, let's say Tom comes out with 15 reps and Hooper comes out with 14 reps and Evan Singleton comes out with 13, Luke Richardson with 12. So they are going to be point system from a 30 or 25 point system. So the person that does the most event wins the most points from each event. So for argument's sake, the most points you can pick up from the heat stage is 50 points. The most point, and let's say Tom wins all the events in his group. He picks up 50 points. In second place is Mitchell Hooper, who picks up 48 points. So then that is rescored. So then Tom starts off in the final of World's Strongest Man with 10 points. Mitchell Hooper will start off with 9 points. Evan Singleton, imagine if he accumulated 46 points in the heat stage, he'll start off at 8 points, and so on and so on. So basically what's kind of happened really is the heat stage is like another event. So if you do really well in your heat stage and you do well across the board through all events, you're going to start off the final of World's Strongest Man with 10 points. So now it's just changed it so much, and it's, lads, if you disagree with me on this, I'll come over there and I'll bait you, because this is so good for strongmen. This is going to change the whole thing. So what happens now is, even the likes of Mitchell Hooper, who normally pisses his group, is going to have to work hard in his group to try and accumulate the most points to start off the final with the most amount of points. And the same thing for Tom, and the same thing for Luke Richardson, and the same thing for Trey Mitchell, all these guys who will be looking to podium at the World's Strongest Man final. are now going to have to work really hard in the heats, which is amazing because we often see it in the heats where lads are slacking off a small bit. The likes of top seeds are slacking off a bit, and we don't get to really see the strongest in the heats. And it used to piss me off a little bit because I'm at heart, I'm a fan of strongman, and I want to see everyone working hard at each event, to be honest. Also, they've gotten rid of that stupid stone off where second and third place fight for the second spot through to the final, and I'm so glad that's gone. That was such a big pile of steaming. I didn't even want to say it, lads, but you know where I'm going with it. You know where it ends up. So that is gone. So now everyone has to do 5 events in the heat. So confusing, guys. But do you get me? Do you understand? I hope you do. Anyone that's a fan of OSG and knows the point system there knows what this is about and how much better this will make the competition. So excited. So all the people that were complaining all along, oh, it's only a 5 event final. Well, now technically, right, it's a 10 event final, whether you like it or not. Some people will call it a 6 event final because the points are remarked after the 5 events coming into the final of World's Strongest Man. So lads, in my opinion, this is massive news because it changes the whole format and it makes it so much better, and it's one less thing for everyone to be fucking bitching and moaning about. What are you going to moan about now? Well, there's only one thing left to fix. Well, there's 2 things left, in my opinion, to fix it World's Strongest Man. And I believe, lads, we're going to get round it. We're already after getting round to 2 huge things already this week, which is the tickets for the family and friends, all sorted. We're after sorting out that stupid stone off crap at the heats. Sorted, that's gone. Everyone has to do 5 heats. And we have sorted the 5 event final that you're all complaining about. And it was a little bit shit. There was only 5 events in the final. Typically through the years we've seen 6 events, which does make it a bit better. Because when you have 5 events, one mistake and you're gone. Out the gap. Get out the door. So it's really good. So now it's massive changes. Now, does this affect the guys at the top? Well, in my opinion, my honest opinion, and that's all you'll get from me, lads, because I couldn't give a fuck what you think. I do, but you know, because I read all the comments and I read what you're saying. Normally it's fuck bah, but I don't care. Fuck bah, I agree with you. Fuck me. So, what will this do for it? In my opinion, this is good for Tom. Just looking at the final events here at World's Strongest Man. So the final events have a huge disadvantage for Tom, and a lot of you seem to think that the Stoaltmans, there was a comment there, I'll read it out in a minute, that the Stoaltmans and Colin Bryce are in cahoots together to try and keep the title in the United Kingdom, but it's a lot of horseshit, okay? Because if you look at these events, who do they suit? They suit probably Hooper the best. So maybe Hooper and Colin Bryce are in cahoots together. They're not. So the big thing there for Tom, the big weakness for Tom, we've seen it in 2020, I think it was maybe it was 21 or 22. The year, I'm sure you'll correct me, the year where the Hercules Hall was in the final, and it was the year Novikov won, and in my opinion, it cost Tom the title, because had that been literally any other event, Tom would have won. He lost massive points there. I think he came either last or second last in the Hercules Hold that year, and kind of cost him the title. So that has come up again. Now, a lot of lads that have done the Hercules Hold at Giants Live and that have done the Hercules Hold at World's Strongest Man, they have all said the same thing. The Hercules Hold at World's Strongest Man is extremely heavy because of the nature of the cunt. It's a lot of the weight apparently sits up top, which puts more weight in the hands. And speaking to Luke Richardson about it even, he was saying that like he can do, I think his best on the Giants Live setup is 1:20-ish in around that. He's done it in training. I think he's done a big time in training. And he said that feeling he gets at like the 1 minute mark or the 1:10 mark, that really struggle part is at the Hercules Hole at World's Strongest Man, is the immediate pull you feel when they let go of the Hercules Hold handles at World's Strongest Man. So it's that much harder, basically, is what I'm saying. So that was a big weakness for Tom, right? So with this new setup, Tom is going to have to accumulate as much points as possible in the heat events. To win World's Strongest Man, it's probably a two-man. It's probably a two-man race, to be honest. It's going to be Hooper versus Tom Stoaltman. Tom Stoaltman's the previous champion. Hooper, just wins everything else. Okay, so on my opinion, it's going to be one of those two fellas that's going to win World's Strongest Man. So Tom's going to have to accumulate, dependent on your. See, you could say, oh no, Tom's going to an easy group, but it won't matter because it's the points that you pick up. Like if let's look at the heat events. So can Tom beat Hooper at any of these heat events? So the load and medley, the past has shown us that Tom has beaten Hooper every single time in load and medley, to the best of my knowledge. And again, I'm sure you'll be the first to point out that I'm wrong, but he beat him in Glasgow, and I'm fairly sure he's beaten him every other time at the medley, at a load and medley, because Tom has the fitness, and you'd never think it. Because I can remember last year at World's Strongest Man, the loading medley at Worlds was so hard. Not many of us finished it. It's always hard at Worlds, to be honest, because it's so hot and we're not used to that heat. But I'll never forget, like, I didn't finish it. I did, call it 6 reps total. I did 5 reps of the loading medley and I was gassed. So many people were gassed out. And I remember seeing Tom finish the loading medley really fast, and he wasn't even that out of breath. Do you know? He's so fit for the size of him. So loading medley, I would put Tom beating Hooper at the loading medley. Deadlift for reps, I think there's so many variables here. The deadlift for reps at World's Strongest Man is weird. It's a stiff bar, but it's slightly higher. I think it's about 10 inches. I think they're using the same one they used in Bradenton that time, which is that shaky, stiff bar, 10-inch deadlift for reps, 350 for reps. To be honest, like, if you're going to put money on someone beating Hooper, you'll probably lose your money. I can see Hooper just winning that event and doing whatever number he needs to. Outside threats to to Hooper winning that deadlift event would be, in my opinion, you'd have to count Trey Mitchell in that. Trey Mitchell is such an animal of a deadlifter. Animal. And he won't even put on a suit. I think if the man learned how to use a suit, he'd probably do a lot more damage in these deadlift events across the board for maxes, whatever else, but he doesn't like him, so fuck me. Fuck Pa. Another threat there, right? And this is a kind of a fella, in my opinion, that's a threat for the whole competition. Even if this little fucker, right? I'm trying not to swear as much on YouTube because I understand I have a lot of younger fans. The biggest threat here, right? The little dark horse, and he's kind of always a dark horse. He's not dark anymore. He is a massive threat, and that is Paddy Haynes. If you look at Paddy Haynes, the man is equipped with a pair of legs you would see under a horse, not in size, but in nature, because he can just pick up whatever load is in front of him and he can gallop. He can gallop off there into the sunset, carrying a 150 kilo sandbag. Not a bother to him, and he'll put a big smile on his face. Schmirkin fucking Paddy. Schmirkin Paddy, that's what we'll call him. So he's a massive threat there in that deadlift for reps. Do you know what would be funny, right? This is a little inside thought I have. Don't worry, it's PG. Is if you put Paddy Haynes in Mitchell Hooper's group, Paddy will make Hooper work queer hard, very hard, because Paddy Haynes on that loading medley, you'd want a horse to keep up behind him. The deadlift for reps, same thing. Titans toss, he's that explosiveness. Do you see the fucker jumping? The only thing is the overhead medley. Now, with Paddy, it's probably the best possible outcome with this rogue overhead medley. And stones, we've seen the fucker doing stones. It's as if, I don't know, they're not real or something. So, going back to deadlift for reps, Tom versus Hooper. Can anyone challenge Hooper on the deadlift for reps? I think Paddy Haynes can challenge him. Trey Mitchell can challenge him. I'm probably missing a couple of decent deadlifters there. Can anyone else challenge him? Do you know who's really good at that deadlift for reps at Worlds, and he always shows up if he's competing, is Novikov. But I think that's it. I know him. Oh, Lucas Hatton. That little Eddie Hall lookalike, that fella, he could do damage here at the deadlift for reps. And it's great because they're all going to have to work hard. You're not trying to beat the fella in your group. You're trying to beat everyone. Titans toss between Tom And Mitchell Hooper, Titans toss. I can see Tom catching him here again. Tom just is extremely explosive. He's got that 7-foot stature. He can just throw shit all day. So I think Tom will beat Hooper there for points. The Rogue overhead medley would be a tight call. That could literally be anyone's. That'll be. Do you know who'll win that? Is the fella that makes the least amount of mistakes. We've seen Tom beating Hooper multiple times at overhead occasions, and oh god, Rogue overhead is dumbbell. It's dumbbell, 90 kilo dumbbell for 2 reps. It's 150 barbell, 150 log, 150 axle, 2 reps in each. God, it'll be tight. It'll be tight. I don't know. For argument, I'm gonna say Tom, because Tom always shows up to Worlds a different animal than we see him at Arnold's, at Rogue, and everything else. He just turns up at Worlds. I'm gonna give it to Tom. And the stone medley, which is a bunch of natural stones. Again, like, you can't count Tom out of the stone medley. So Tom has the potential here to catch Hooper out in a couple of points. And Tom needs every bit of points from the heats as possible, because we know he's going to lose some. Like, I know he's working hard on his grip. He's spent, last time I was speaking to him about it, and we spoke about this weakness of his that was coming up at Worlds. He said instead of doing grip workouts at the end of a workout, he's started to dedicate a day in itself to his grip, and he's right too, because it's a massive weakness. If deadlift was your weakness, you would spend a day working on the deadlift. If overhead was the weakness, you'd spend it on the overhead. Do you know? So why not spend a day doing your grip? If it's one full event where there's 10 points up for grabs, you should spend a day doing it. And it's not taxing as well, so you could do it on your off day, do you know, on your deload day, because it's not taxing. You're just working the grip. So yeah, and then you go into the final events. I think Hooper will be hard to catch on a lot of these. The knack carry and hoist. God, look at I can't see anyone catching him in that, to be honest. 18-inch max deadlift. We've seen Hooper pulling 505 or 500 kilos for 2 reps. And to his ease, so he'll probably blast that up. I think he can go probably 530, possibly 540 if he needs to. It's a win event for him again. Flintstone press max, he did in his live stream 245 kilos easily and wanted more. Tom, though, is really good at behind the neck press, and he'll show up at Worlds, so that'll be a good battle between the two of them. Atlas stones, you're not going to beat Tom at Atlas stones. So just to wrap it up, lads, I'm doing a lot of talk. I'm just so excited with this change to Worlds. I'm so happy for Worlds that they've listened and they've taken all the information back and they've said, yeah, let's make this better. And they've made it so much better. So much better. Lads, let me know what you think. Be honest now. You always are, fair play to you. Let me know what you think about this. I want to know what you think. If you disagree with me, I'll find you. Okay? I'll find you. And if I don't find you, I will get you to do the experiment with the fork and the water and the wall socket. Do you remember that one? No, let me know what you think, lads. Surely, to be to God, surely you agree that this is good. You have to agree. There's 2 massive changes. There's a 5 event heat stage now. No more of this fucking stone off crap. And all events matter. All events matter. Lads, thank you very much. Please subscribe. Please head over to my page. I sell these t-shirts. They're class. They'll make you look jacked and fucking tanned. And I thank you very much. Good day to you. I hope you have a great day.